Hey there, folks, and welcome back to another episode of our venture in the visual novel If My Heart Had Wings, Flight Diary. And in the last episode, quite a few scenarios, one of them being Kotori's fascination over Aoi as her boyfriend, but at one point even sharing in the conversation of how she thought she was no match for him. I'm not going to get into all that because I don't really understand, but Asa was trying to cheer her up, and Harumi literally just started sharing of the good qualities of Aoi, to which that put Kotori in an even bigger trance, so I guess all in to dwell there. And in other cases of things that went down, of course, is Kotori and Aoi had spent some quality time at the windmill section. If you just look at the windmills, those are absolutely awesome. That's just an awesome view, in my opinion. I'm just easy to please at the same time. But they shared a nice little lap pillow session, which I'm pretty sure many of us guys know and appreciate. And yes, there are ladies that like the lap pillow session too, so Aoi, remember that. It's not just the guys, but the ladies like it too. So let's just keep that in mind. And as the story continued within the last episode, at one point Aoi was a little bit spaced out, to which Kotori caught on, and she was like, "Are you cheating on me?" And I'm just like, Kotori, why do you think he would do that? I mean, I get it, it happens, but at what basis do you have that suggests that Aoi is actually doing that? And then, of course, Agaha just plays along with it for whatever reason. Of course, she gets checked for that, and she probably regretted it after that. But anyways, not soon after, actually soon after, what am I saying? Masasugu showed up, to which it turns out he is now the student council president and keeps in mind of the Soaring Club and actually stays in the staff meetings to understand what the view is of the Soaring Club. And come to find out the teachers are not against the Soaring Club, but it's really the student council. So that's where we left off. So let's find out what it is that the student council has against the Soaring Club. So with that, let us transition on over there. Okay, let's see what these folks' beef is with the Soaring Club. Let's find out. Masasugu, what is the 411?
どういうこと？
他の部から不公平だって訴えは今でも来てる。部員数で見たらお前ら弱小クラブだし。
I see.
そういうの処理するのが結構大変なんだよ。
Yeah, it can be a pain at times. Sorry we're causing so much trouble.
いいってことよ。俺はあかりさんの意思を継ぐために生徒会長になったんだからな。
I see. Akari Kumoi, the previous student council president, had harsh words for us, but eventually became an ally. She was the only reason we had been able to keep up our activities.
まあ、俺とか一部の奴らはいいんだ。お前らがあの雲を飛ぶとこ見てるからさ。でも、お前らの凄さを知らない連中もいるから、そいつらはやっぱ不思議がってる。なんで特別扱いされてんのって。
So maybe there's a little bit of a life lesson right here, and that is when we ask that question too of what's so special about it, are we really asking the question to understand, or are we just asking a question just to say something? So that's something we ought to look at in ourselves and on the situation in particular. So if we're really serious about the question, what's so special about it, we need to actually make sure that we are pursuing to understand. So in other words, look at it objectively, not just with our own particular, I don't want to say interest, but I want to say our own particular opinion, because there's more opinions besides our own, and we have a right to our opinion in a respectful manner, mind you. It's not like we wanted special treatment. It's just, it was the only way we could keep going. Yeah, well, again, if it becomes too much of a hassle to the point where it actually leads to a decrease in morale, then it may be time to reconsider. But when it comes to righteousness, it is what it is. Not saying that this in particular is of absolute righteousness. I'm just saying. And of course, that added to our current problems.
わかったわ。ありがとう、マーボー君。
おう、ま、頑張れよ。
やっぱ今のまま活動を続けていくのは難しいか。
Yeah, apparently not everybody's all into flying, especially if it requires a pilot's license for them to even operate the darn thing. Maybe we should take a serious look into joining a competition or something. Yeah, that's one way to deal with it. I don't know what kind of competitions would involve a glider, but... Kotori was lost in thought, a piece of egg still held in her chopsticks.
俺なら葵たちが卒業した後も協力するぞ。
Tatsuya was talking with me while he was inspecting winch parts.
俺もソアリング部の OB だからな。
That he is. We weren't having any club activities today. Tatsuya was free at work, so he had agreed to come help me with the winch maintenance. But aren't you getting super busy now?
そうだけど、俺にだって息抜きは必要だぞ。
I wondered if helping out with the Soaring Club counted as a breather.
たまには若い連中と同じ空気吸わないとな。うちは年寄りばかりだから。
It was really rare for young people to join small local factories like Tatsuya's. As a young employee, I heard that Tatsuya took a lot of flack at work. Oh yeah, did you hear that Agaha got an offer?
ああ、聞いた。よかったな、あいつ。
She said you made it happen.
俺は何もしてないよ。
Tatsuya had introduced her to the company. Apparently, they had only given her an interview because of Tatsuya. They didn't normally take on new graduates.
葵は来年からは大学だな。しっかり勉強してこいよ。
Yeah. I mean, that's what he's been doing thus far, so...
どうしたんだ？なんか暗いな。自信ないのか？
Not that, really. Tatsuya stopped working and turned to face me. He wasn't asking, but he had an expression like he was ready to listen if I wanted to talk. When Tatsuya looked at me like that, I always spilled all my secrets. I'm actually having second thoughts. Maybe I should find a job or something.
なんでまた？
I said I wanted to work with planning and design, right?
ああ、その勉強のために大学編入するんだろ？
I want to make bicycle parts.
自転車？
I nodded. I realized it when I was working on the glider. Bikes are the same. You improve each part individually as much as you can, all for the benefit of the rider. When I was riding road races, bikes were just another vehicle to me. I mean, I was attached to my bike, and I thought I understood the roles of each part. But I'd never thought about what they said about the maker and their hopes and ideas.
それでいいと思うぞ。それでも早く走ることはできたんだから。
I nodded. He was right. That was the proper attitude at the time. But now that I've realized that depth, I find myself thinking about it all the time. Decrease weight by measly 0.1 grams, smooth out the gear change, transfer a tiny bit more power from the pedals to the wheels. Also, some stranger can ride farther, shave a few fractions of a second off. All that work on each part, just for them. I can relate to this as a live sound technician. I'm always looking at ways to better my skills and to better the equipment that I'm using as a means to present the most clearest and the most audible nuance as possible to the audience, to which is what the talent that's on stage is trying to present. So really what I'm doing is actually using the equipment to complement the talent's performance and bring that vision that they have to light. And I'm constantly learning how to do that. There is no apex in this particular profession. There's always something new you can learn. That's part of the race too. And now that I can't ride, I think I could be part of the race that way. At some point during my monologue, a gentle smile had appeared on Tatsuya's face. He squinted in the light of the setting sun streaming from the western horizon.
そんなことを考えてたのか。
Yeah. Someone I know from my cycling days is in sales. He can introduce me to a manufacturer in Tokyo. I don't know if I can get hired or not, but I want to get an interview.
そうか。
Tatsuya said and slapped me on the arm, smiling.
でも意外だったぞ。てっきりグライダーか飛行機関係の仕事を目指してるんだと思ってた。
I thought about that too, for sure. With the glider, I'd felt an incredible sense of accomplishment after flying the morning glory. On the other hand, with cycling, I had felt only a sense of frustration at having to stop without accomplishing anything. And looking at Amane's plans also had an effect on me. I smiled wryly. Her plans, now that I looked at them with experience, screamed, "This is good enough, right?" I imagined Tatsuya understood, since he had the same smile.
本気の目だな。やってみればいいじゃないか。
Yeah, but
小鳥ちゃんのことか。
she's really looking forward to going to university with me. I had been too. Together we could specialize even more. It had been exciting just to think about. And she gets so lonely too. As we got closer to leaving, she looked more and more sad every day. Sometimes I saw her sitting alone, staring absently up at the sky. It probably wouldn't hurt to wait and look for work after university.
今そんなに迷ってるってことは、本当はすぐにでも飛び込んでいきたいんだろ？大丈夫。あの子なら分かってくれるさ。
Tatsuya said and thumped my shoulder.
信じてみろよ、あの子。
Yeah.
つまり彼女よりも夢を選ぶと。
Boy. Another life lesson here, folks. Sometimes you may find someone you really love, and your dreams may not be on the same wavelength. But pursue your purpose. Don't compromise that. Because chances are, if you don't pursue your purpose, you may find yourself in a distraught state, feeling unfulfilled. Pursue your purpose. If your loved one, particularly your domestic partner, they agree with it, great. If they don't, and you're unable to work out a reasonable compromise, then it's time to part ways. But you pursue your purpose, just as they will pursue theirs. That was the first thing Kotori said after I told her everything. No, it's not like that, Kotori. I'm just saying I'm not going to university. When I tried to go on, Kotori put her hand in front of my face.
いえ、これ以上の説明は結構です、水瀬くん。
Mr. Minase?
今日から私とあなたは水瀬くんとハバネさんです。
Are you breaking up with him?
長い間 お世話になりました。ではさようなら。
Having said this, Kotori stood up from the bed and moved to leave the room with her cane. Wait, slow down a minute. You have a bad habit of getting all fired up and jumping to conclusions.
ご指摘どうも。けど大丈夫。私は至って冷静です。北極の白熊のように。
Probably more a bipolar bear. Aren't polar bears really savage?
それじゃあおやすみなさい、水瀬くん。
That was not even close to calm and collective. Kotori said coldly and left. Was that really the right choice? Yes, it was, Aoi. You operate in your purpose. If the individuals around you don't agree with it, tough stuff. They'll get over it. At any rate, nothing I could say would help now that she was angry. I could only wait and talk to her another day. And let that be a lesson for recipients in that regard. If you're going to hold stuff over people's head because they're pursuing their purpose, that's shady. Don't do that. You want to operate in your purpose. So consider that with them when they want to operate in their purpose. It was a few days after the night I had talked with Kotori about my plans. She was upset. Girl, you need to chill out. Ah! Whenever I accidentally got too close, she would growl like a guard dog. Indeed, she was about as cool as a polar bear, more like a bipolar bear. Speaking of, I hear that climate change will soon lead to a lack of natural prey, unleashing their ferocity in the world.
部長と水瀬先輩、どうしちゃったんすかね。あれがあの人たちの愛情表現なのよ。そっと見守っておくのが優しさよ。
That's the safest thing to do, Yoru.
そうなんすか。
It wasn't odd for Kotori and I to fight. Rather, it wasn't odd for Kotori to be mad at me. So everyone was used to it. You're more lenient than I am, because I wouldn't tolerate that. And of course, it wouldn't last long. Aga, you got a minute?
はいよ。
Has she said anything since then?
ね。恋人より夢を選ぶのがかっこいい男だとか思ってるのかしら。ナンセンスよ、ありえない。あんなのが私の彼氏だなんてもうなんていうかバーカバーカ。だってさ。
I see. Yep, she was upset.
私は両方の気持ちがわかるから何とも言えないとこだけど。
There's not much you can't say other than just telling Kotori that it's not fair to try to guilt trip somebody for pursuing their purpose.
まあ安心なさいな。小鳥可愛いからすぐまた新しい彼氏くらいできるって。
Hey, if it don't work out, it don't work out. Don't make it sound like I just dumped her.
あれ、違うの？
No, I didn't. We're just fighting. I'd say she's the one fighting.
なんだ、チェ。
What was that sigh about?
参考までに聞くけど、なんで葵は大学編入試験を受けようとしてたわけ？
Well, I wanted to keep studying.
それだけ？
Age stared down her nose at me suspiciously. Okay, I was worried about Kotori. And that's another life lesson, folks. In this situation like this, it justifies a little bit Kotori's anger, because it's like, wow, you wanted to go to university with me and now you don't want to go. At the same time, sometimes some people, that's what happens, is they want to do something and then they realize that it actually wasn't the best choice. But that doesn't necessarily mean that Aoi is dumping Kotori. It just means he's not going to university with her. There are cases to where there are some lovers out there to where they are pursuing their purpose and it's different, but they still get along.
やっぱり
But I really did want to keep studying. It's just this introduction talk just came up. I was still planning to take the test. And then if the manufacturer thing didn't work out, I'd just go on to university as planned.
まああの子危なっかしいとこあるから大学までついてってあげたい気持ちはわかるけどさすがにちょっと過保護だよね
Well, the fact if he's not going, then maybe he's starting to let off on that protectiveness. I know. She wasn't a kid anymore. She can handle going to university alone.
まあしっかり話し合ってみなよお互い納得できるようにさ
Aga said, trying to cheer me up. She teased a lot, but she was really concerned about her feelings. She was a good friend. I'll try that. Thanks.
見て桐野さん雲が流れていくわ流れていくっすね空を飛ぶものはね誰であろうともその場にとどまっていることはできないのよヘリコプターもっすかあれは例外あと UFO も例外結構多そうっすね空が遠いねえ桐野さんは私たちが飛んでるところを見てソアリング部に入ったのよねそうっすよめちゃくちゃ気持ちよさそうだったから自分も飛んでみたいなって思ったっすそうでもうち貧乏なんでパイロットの資格取るのはちょっと難しいっすね家が遠いから部活しながらアルバイトもできないし空は遠いっす、そうだわあなた今夜暇？暇っすけどじゃあうちの寮に来なさいいいもの見せてあげるわわかったっす来たよいらっしゃいアゲハ
Once Yuka-sanai and Kaneko had all graduated, the only boarding student left who wasn't a club member was Ryoko. Since they had built the new dormitory, Flying Fish Manor hadn't had any new students, and its future was now in question. But tonight, the place was packed.
お料理もうすぐできますからね
Oh, let me out.
じゃあサラダの盛り付けお願いしてもいいかしら
The Soaring Club members had taken over Flying Fish Manor's dining hall.
寮って言うから学校の寮かと思ってましたなんかアンティークな寮っすね
Pretty accurate.
入っちゃって大丈夫なんでしょうかここ女子寮ですよね
Hey, I always been there for months.
いいんじゃない何せ寮母若い男性がやってるくらいだもの小鳥先輩そろそろですよリモコンあった
Well, let's find out what Kotori is planning to do with that remote on the next episode, shall we? And again, folks, male or female, operating your purpose. Some folks will ride with you, even if their purpose is different than yours. Some folks won't. But you operate in your purpose. You're not living for them. You can live together with people while operating in your purpose. But you're not living for them. So with that, I want to thank everyone for watching this video this time around. If If you like what you saw, maybe consider leaving a like. And if you'd like to see more and you haven't already, maybe consider subscribing. And if you do, also be sure to hit the bell icon so you can be notified on the next set of productions to be released. And until next time, happy mixing, everyone.